Hello everybody, welcome to G for G. I'm your host Napalm Dawn. We're here today talking about Marvel Avengers Alliance, and I wanted to go ahead and give you guys a little bit of a power ranking on the sets that are on sale at the moment. So today's background music is brought to you by the Xenoblade soundtrack. This is Xenoblade from the Wii, not the new one on the Wii U, and I just basically decided on that music today due to the fact that the new version is going to be coming out soon. I actually have it for the Wii, the old one, but I've never played it. And it is now available on the 3DS, so either way you still have access to the old game. I don't have a Wii U, just a Wii, so I won't be playing the new game. So I wanted to go ahead and talk about the sales that are going on right now for these different sets. Kind of give you my opinion on them, give you a rank from 1 to 10, and basically discuss those over here. There is a common theme that I will say that occurs in most of these sets is that there is one piece that generally stands out, and then the rest are okay. It's not true of all of them, but it is true for some of them, but it is definitely more true for the shittier sets. So here we have the Cosmic set. Now for this one, this is one that I actually intend to buy because I have very limited items from this set. We have the GG prototype, the Scythe, the Ray Shield generator, and the Radiant Cannon. Now, I'm going to be honest in my opinions of all of these and give you the full lowdown. You can get many of the items of the Cosmic set from the daily spin. Especially the gadget and weapon dailies. That's how I got my GG prototype. I've seen the Radiant Cannon, and I'm pretty sure I've seen the Ray Shield generator at times. The Ray Shield generator was one of the items that was used in conjunction with that free action cosmic shielding that was creating the bug. Okay. This set, I would give this set previously, this set would have gotten a 9 because the GG prototype at the time was the equivalent of a free action. Basically, you could fire it as many times as you had cosmic energy. But when the quick action nerf came around, this can now only be fired once if you're going to do something else, or twice, tops. It's still relatively solid with attrition-based teams. However, it's not what it used to be. You go back about a half a year ago, I would give this a 9. Now I actually, thanks to the quick action nerf, I'll give this a 7. It is a pretty good set, and what is kind of nice is that it stands alone. You don't necessarily need other pieces of the set in order to make the set work. However, the Scythe does feed the rest of the set and so on and so forth. Now, the cosmic energy in this set can be gained from other ways. You could have the Cosmic Cardinal, or you could have pieces of the Guardians of the Galaxy Spec Ops set. And this actually has some really good synergy with that. The standout used to be the GG prototype. Now you can make a case that it is the Radiant Cannon, in that you can use the Cosmic Cardinal with the Radiant Cannon and have it exploit attrition, which it can actually put out by itself with radiation exposure. The Ray Shield generator is another good way of getting cosmic energy. It also has a pretty decent shield. I give this about a 7. Go back in time about a year, half a year ago. Clearly not. The full-on 10 out of 10 out of all these right now is the Demon set. The reason being is that the signpost pretty much got universal acceptance in PvP. Now that stamina has become an issue, the signpost, it actually was like nerfed and then took a huge boost. It was nerfed when the QA thing happened because now the signpost can't be used as one of these 52 things that you could just spam away every single round. It keeps the opponent healthy. You get dot reduction on it, so it basically reduces the damage that, that damage over time effects have on you, which is like your attrition things and everything. So that's when it took the nerf, is that when QA's got nerfed, signpost took a little bit of a nerf there. However, it's now back in full form because not only does it drain health, it drains stamina and gives it to the agent. So it keeps your agent stamina really good throughout the match, and it weakens the entire enemy team. So you couple this with some more straining related items and you're going to hurt the enemy team. The hotshot, one of the best AoE guns in the game. Very, very high chance to stun. When I used to run this with Pestley and Captain Steve Rogers back in the day, it was not unheard of for me to get triple stuns. We have the Grief, which exploits attrition if your agent is on fire, and then you have Fury if you have Dark Void on you, which it applies Burning and Death Frost, Poison, and Dark Void. Burning and Death Frost are allowed to coexist with each other because it's kind of like a tier. There's Chilled, and then there's Death Frost. There's Burning, and then there's Soulfire. If you have Soulfire, you can't be Burning, and if you have Death Frost, you can't be Chilled. They're upgraded forms of it, and the Burning and the Chilled only fight each other at that level. Once you go up, they don't fight each other anymore. So you can have Burning and Death Frost, or you can have Chilled and Soulfire. The counterattack is pretty good. Very good for Scroll of Runerock teams. Very good for attrition teams like Mordo, Pesty, Enchantress. Really good synergy, and it would be a bit of a sleeper in PvP to run this set now. The Deathly Freeze Ray is also pretty common, and the Deathly Freeze Ray has some very good synergy with the Signpost. Since the Hotshot and the DFR have opposite cooldowns, they both have 2 rounds, so you can go Signpost Hotshot, Signpost Deathly Freeze Ray, and the Deathly Freeze Ray is a counter weapon. Very good, clearly 10 out of 10. If you do not have the Demon set, you want to get the Demon set, period. That's just how it goes. The chest set sneaks up on you a little bit. When you first see it, you're like, oh, I don't think it's that good. Nobody ever talks about the chest set, whatever. It's actually way better than you think. And it's one of the few sets that you can take all those pieces and like do this and just use this in the set. I'm like, I want these two. And you're fine. You don't have to like run all of these. They don't have synergy with each other exactly. So it's not one of these ones where, well, for every set piece you equip, this happens, or you get extra benefits or extra debuffs. It works with itself, but it can be pieced out pretty easily. So the Rook is the big thing in the set. It keeps firing until the ammo is gone, and unlike the Smart Weapon set, it just runs. And it's considered along the vein of a counter or follow-up attack. So this is very good with your rockets, your Spider Noirs, your Union Jack, etc., etc. Whether or not the Rapier would follow up on each shot of the Rook, I don't necessarily know. But here's how the set goes. The Knight creates a protect element that brings attacks to you. When you get attacked, the Bishop has a chance to counterattack, and it will give you stamina and Rook ammo every time it counters, kind of like the Cosmic Cardinal. It's special functionality. The Pawn is a quick action which gives you a shield. If the attacks are coming to you, you want shields to stay alive a little bit. It also gives you ammunition for the Rook. The other good thing is that it bumps up your defense when you are attacked. So it's similar to those mobs, the big bruiser mobs that you fight that like get that shield and that defense stack when you attack them. And then of course the Rook is the mainstay. The problem with this set is that if you are running the Pawn and the Rook and the Knight, you may spam in PvP. If it's defense, you may wind up spamming the Knight, which is what you don't want to do. You want to be spamming the Rook. So the best way that I can recommend using this set is wear a bruiser suit and run the Bishop, the Pawn, and the Rook, and maybe something else here. You really wouldn't want to run a quick action because the Pawn will be up every turn. So maybe a free action like the Magneto Shield, or the Cosmic Shielding, or stick a Cosmic Cardinal in here, maybe a Gauntlet Caress or a Hugin's Eye. That would be even better. Hugin's Eye, Cosmic Cardinal, Bishop, Pawn, Rook. You actually have yourself a really good defensive set if you're running a follow-up team. If you run a Mandible in here or a Grace Note, again, you may wind up spamming the wrong item. I actually give this set an 8. It sneaks up on you. At first glance, you may be like, that's a 6 or a 5. But it could be broken down, and we've got a lot of good gear right now that works with this set. I would give it an 8. I wouldn't say it's a must-have purchase, but you can make a good Rocket kind of team out of that. Here we have the Avengers vs. X-Men set, otherwise known as the AVX set. We have the Arc Reactor Charge, the Cosmic Flare, the Soul Fire Blade, and the Phoenix Flare. I actually am missing 3/4 of this set. This is another one that I would probably get. The Soul Fire Blade, the Phoenix Flare, Cosmic Flame, and Arc Reactor Charge kind of all go based on Soulfire. The Cosmic Flame is a quick action that you target yourself or an ally with this, and when that person is targeted, their next attack applies Soulfire. Well, how does this work out? It works out best with stealthy people or AoE. Our prime example of this would be Fandral. If you were to apply the Cosmic Flame on Fandral, and then on his turn he drops the Chandelier Flitting Circus, he does all the things that he does normally for it, plus he applies Soulfire. Soulfire is not too bad in the common meta. It removes debuffs. It doesn't pierce the Shroud, I think. If that's the only buff they have, it may actually take it off. But if they have, say, Rising Up buffs, like from Heimdall, Soulfire will wipe them out. It doesn't keep them out like Nanoplague, it just wipes them out once, but they could be reapplied. The Arc Reactor Charge has that slow recharge, so basically it kicks like a mule. Restores full stamina until the next attack is made and causes the next attack to do double damage. This is up every single round, except you lose your turn the next round. So this is kicks like a mule, really. The Soulfire Blade performs a follow-up on targets who already have Soulfire. Its Psycho Pyric performs a follow-up attack against other targets. It's magic, it's slashing, it's melee, so because it's magic, you would go ahead and heal yourself if you were running that ISO, and it applies Soulfire, but much like the Splinter of Night, it will follow up on targets who already have Soulfire. The Phoenix Flare is a very, very hard-hitting AoE weapon. I mean, if you look at that total damage, that's a single target level damage done over there. It starts cooldown, and it's up every 2 rounds. So basically, it would be up every other round. Again, slow recharge, but it's also stealthy, and it restores health over time. This is basically a lot like the Fault Eater, but AoE. Back before the nerf to quick actions, what would likely be the deal is that you would Arc Reactor Charge, Cosmic Flame, Phoenix Flare, all in the same round, and then when you did this, because this is AoE and this makes you apply Soulfire, with that AoE, the Soulfire Blade starts following up. Similar to the Splinter of Night with people who have Dark Void, or the Devourer with people bleeding. So that's what the original intent was. However, that's not going to happen now because you cannot stack the Arc Reactor Charge and the Cosmic Flame. The turn will be over. That's nothing to say that you can't do Cosmic Flame, Phoenix Flare, Soulfire Blade. You certainly can. But the Arc Reactor Charge was designed to have you wipe the team out with this L-shaped combo over here. Still a pretty good set. I would actually give this set about a 7, maybe a 6. Simply because you cannot do the original combo the way that you were supposed to, but you could still make a very, very good set out of this, and you can always piecemeal the Soulfire Blade out. You can bring the Phoenix Flare out because of the fact that it restores health over time. But then again, you could do it with the Cosmic Flame. Now, on defense, you wouldn't necessarily want to run the Cosmic Flame because you may hit an ally with that, and it may be an ally that it's not really a good choice for. So right now, the clear winner is the Demon set. I would say if you like follow-up teams, the Chess set is right behind it. If not, I would put the Cosmic set right behind it, and then the AVX set a little lower. Now we get into some older sets that are kind of interesting. We have the Self-Sacrifice set, which came out with Valkyrie, if I remember correctly. You have the Monstrosity. All enemies get intimidated, and you are unstunnable. The problem with this item is that unless you are running the newest Tactician suit, this will be the end of your turn. If you notice, this is not a quick action. So when you go to use this to cause Intimidated, this will be the end of your turn. That's kind of a problem. With the newest suit, of course, you do have the one free debuff out there, so this could become a quick action. There are other ways to be unstunnable now, including an ISO that does it. The Hoarfrost Mace used to be a once big king of PvP. It helps you protect your team and you res when you die. The Hoarfrost was a really tough mace to get around back in the day. Nobody really runs it now, but you see it occasionally. Roar of the North is a hugely powerful gun on this. And if you look, they basically stack 3 cooldown items on it. If you look, it doesn't say that it has any kind of a cooldown. If you look in the top part, it doesn't say 1 round, 2 round, 3 rounds. But it's built into its own personal debuffs. It has a debuff called cooldown that's listed twice, slow reload, and kicks like a mule. They really want you to make sure that when you use this, you're not taking in actions the next turn. But it's actually up in the first round. You could combine like the arc reactor charge with this, and those two right there might make for a very powerful Roar of the North. Now we have the Barrow Guard. Melee Ice and Magic. 13th Charm. Revives the agent with 25% health and debuffs removed when KO'd. Grants Wisdom on Revive. Removes the cooldown from Roar of the North. I think. We don't know how that works nowadays. Fortitude. Resistant to being knocked out by dots. There's that 13th Charm listed again, and restores health when attacking. So, you have the Staff of Return that can do this now, along with, of course, Phoenix and Valkyrie. So, there are other ways to make sure you res in combat, but this is not too bad. I actually only own the Monstrosity and nothing else in this set. Again, this is actually another set that I would like to get. So I'm up to 3. I would like to complete the AVX set. I only have the Cosmic Flame, but it is available in spinners. And the Cosmic set. I only have the GG prototype from this. I don't have any of the others. So I'm now looking at 3 sets that I would actually want to get. Now we come to the 2 trash sets. The Self-Sacrifice set, I'd give it about a 5. This one's a really tough one to pull out. However, the potential to use the Arc Reactor Charge and the Roar of the North might be something really disgusting to see. The 40th Century set. This set was basically a 2. Well, actually up 1. This set is a 1 out of 10. When Kang came around, you can maybe bump it up to a 2 because it has synergy with Kang, but the set is really fucking awful. This set, I mean, I wouldn't piss on this set if it was on fire, honestly. And sadly, I have it. Catastrophic. For the Damocles target painter, it's Catastrophic. Wrinkle in Time deals extra damage against targets with time stream displacement. In order to get time stream displacement, you have to hit people with the displacer. You have the Temporal Shielding, which is a quick action. You get a shield. Affected characters gain temporal to their attacks. Reduces damage from enemy temporal attacks to 0. The Ball Tag's blaster is kind of the highlight of this set, but you can get this other ways. Counters all attacks made by enemies with time stream displacement. It is temporal, and it does radiation exposure. Absolutely shit set. If you so love Kang and you ran Kang in PvP, you may declare this set like a 6 for you, but the set is just awful. Stay away from it. It's a 0, really. Here we have the data set, which is the Reboot, the Combat Analyzer, the Oracle, and the Encephalizer. The standout here is the Reboot. Everybody loves the Reboot. It's still available in PvP today, similar to the Techno-Organic Endoskeleton. The big thing is that it makes you immune to bleeding, burning, and chilled, and you have very high crit resistance. Kind of turns you into Colossus to a certain degree. The Oracle and the Encephalizer gain True Strike and Guaranteed Hit, and it doubles the amount of combat data on a target. Combat data is also available from the Skeptic. It is not the combat data that Fixer can do. Not Fixer. Am I thinking Fixer? One of the newest blasters here. Yeah, it's not the same one. It's different. Deathlock. I'm sorry, not Fixer. Deathlock. You have the Combat Analyzer, which is a quick action that does combat analysis. As you can see, this came from an error in which you think these two could be spammed each turn. The Oracle is very, very strange, very low damage, 2-round cooldown, it exploits machines, it removes combat data to do extra damage, but it provides combat data if they didn't have any. And the Encephalizer is a psychic energy attack. It gets around the voids and everything. If combat data is on the person, it consumes it to cause exposed, off balance, and mind control. 1-round cooldown hits all enemies. It's what you're supposed to do when the Oracle isn't up. Completely shit set. I would give it a 3 if you don't have the Reboot. Otherwise, it's about as bad as the 40th Century set. Of course, these newer sets, we all know about those. I don't think they need to be touched upon. The stars in each one are clearly the Grace Note and the Arania set. However, the Grace Note combined with the Venom Launcher is very, very big. There are people using the Exo Generator quite often in PvP. Here on the Formican set, the Mandible is the big standout over there, but there are people that run the whole set with certain heroes. For the Arachnid set, people piecemeal this every day, but the Rapier is obviously the standout, but there are still people doing Superior Combat Sensor, Mask, and Rapier. Legionnaire set is very big if you want to run Age of Ultron heroes, or want to get their buffs, and you do that from the Legion Pulse Rifle. The Elemental set is rather low at this point in time. It's not all that it was cracked up to be anymore, but the Staff of Sword is really good for opportunist debuffs and then that Protective Shroud. And the Superior Soldier set, the Vibra Crescent, is absolutely phenomenal in this set, as it's a very good way of getting flanked down on people. And the Blazer is also pretty cool because of the in-cap and the buff removal. The Crimson Crusher is the low point of the set, honestly. So that's how I'm ranking the sets that are currently available on sale. Absolutely stay away from the 40th Century set and the Data set. Absolutely buy the Demon set, and then the rest are kind of up to you. But I hope my opinions on them in discussion act as a good little guide for you guys. So, take care everybody. Hope you enjoyed the video. I do apologize that maybe it's not quick enough to make any choices on those December 1st sets. You don't really need my explanation for those. But these older sets, there you go. There's my opinion. Take care, everybody.